Hey everyone, so I'm just going to take a look through my old Saturday Disney clippings. Okay, so here's the front cover of the folder I made up of all my Saturday Disney clippings and stuff like that. I think I made this around 2003. So Shelley and Mel had left in 2002 and I was, coming to the end of being a massive fan of the show because my childhood was coming to an end and my favourite hosts had left. But I kept watching with the inclusion of Sarah and Shay, and Dan was still there. So this is, the early 2000s. We only had the internet for, I think, a couple of years. I think I actually scanned some of the fan cards that I got sent and then cut them out and contacted them on here. These were all of the cartoons that I grew up watching. So many. So here we have when Mel joined the show. This is from TV Hits magazine, which I used to buy as a kid in the 90s. I think she's talking about how she was working behind the scenes on Totally Wild and then ended up doing a piece to camera. I just have so many memories just looking at that photo. So here's a picture of, I think this was Shelley at the Logie Awards nominations announcements. And that's after Shelley left and did Perfect Match with Agro. Some stuff with Mel on Ground Force. I think that was Shelley at the Logies one year. This is the fan card that I got sent to me, I think, in 2001 with all the signatures from Shelley, Mel and Dan. More stuff with Perfect Match and Great Outdoors with Shelley. Jenny from the Big Arvo with Shay. I think that was 2003. Oh, there. See, whenever I saw Shelley and Mel outside of the show after they left, I was so happy because they were my favourites on there. And I just loved how you could tell that they were taking the piss out of each other and that they were actual friends. That's, what were their names again? That was the band that they did. Baggy G Pants. So Sarah, Shane, Daniel. When Shelley was on Wheel of Fortune. Mel and Fiona from Ground Force. When it was what episode was this? 700th episode. It's a pretty cool cake. Oh, this is the next team after Shelley left. I remember I actually sent in a letter complaining that Shelley had left and the chemistry wasn't the same, which it wasn't because, Sarah was new and Shelley and Mel had been on there for, 5 years or so together. But I grew to really love Sarah and Shay's dynamic with Dan on the show. Just more stuff with Shelley with the Great Outdoors. Mel and Ground Force. What's this? Big Arvo stuff. Oh, okay, I think I just put that in there because there was Sarah and Shay, Daniel on a tree. I used to just buy TV Week and just put everything, I could rip out everything from Saturday Disney, buy it and then stick it in here. There's some Daniel drawing Ground Force as well, which I thought was cool that both Mel and Dan were on the same show again. And I always kept hoping that Mel would come back and, do an interview about him joining Ground Force, but that never happened. But Mel and Shelley with Melissa George, who I also loved as a kid on Home and Away. Some stickers. But I remember Shelley did come back and do an interview with Shay about Perfect Match. So that was the third team after Shelley and Mel had left. Not the third team overall, but, after the Dan, Sarah, Shay. After the Shelley, Mel and Dan team. So they had their little messages on there as well. More Shelley stuff from Great Outdoors. Other little bits I'd clipped out. The old logo. Ground Force stuff. So this was a new team, so the last team. I moved to Sydney for 3.5 years and I ended up working at the Channel 7 cafe because I went to Sydney to study acting and presenting and I did a bunch of different stuff. But Nathan was so kind and he took me up to the office one day and gave me like all these signed fan cards and I think he gave me a mug. I've still got that, and a ruler and a cap, and there's still this cool stuff. So that was so nice, and all those guys were really lovely. And then that's when I was at NIDA, and then Shay was on the front cover of, I think she was teaching something. These are some drawings I did of the set, so the roof upstairs. I did these at school. I remember I did these in like, I think it was biology class or something. That's supposed to be the kitchen and the lounge room area when I was supposed to be doing schoolwork, and I'm drawing Saturday Disney sets. That's the email that I got from Janine when I had a website, a Saturday Disney website, I think, 2001 or 2. I think she sent that to me in 2003. Printed off the email. It's from the Saturday Kids website. I remember you could go on there and chat to them after the show. I never knew why it was called Saturday Kids, but I thought maybe that they didn't have the rights to call it Disney or something like that. I don't know. But I remember the address was saturdaykids.i7.com.au. Still remember it, and I remember chatting to, I think, all of them on there at one time or another. That's when I think I sent in the letter complaining about Shelley leaving. That was for Perfect Match, I think. That was Ground Force, more Ground Force stuff, more TV Guide stuff. I don't know what all that was. And that was the episode guide, so there's actually more of that in here. I made this one as well. This hasn't aged very well with the contact over the years, but I used to actually make an episode guide. So this list of all the cartoons that were on. The episode guide, I think, started sometime in 1999, and everything was color-coded. Like, everything was, if I had it on tape, if I had missed the episode, if they were on location, if they were in the studio, like what happened on the episode, the date, which ones were filmed together by like these colorings, because I think they did at least 3 episodes filmed on the same day. Like, I was obsessed. Like, this is me as a early teen, when all the host changes happened, when all the cartoon changes happened, the hosts again. This is some stuff that I did when I think we first got the internet, because there was always a blonde girl, a brunette girl, and a guy. I got all the dates wrong. That was like one of the first things I ever did. Yeah, and the episode guide, the host, a little profile on them that I did, I think, in 2002. More photos that I'd found. And I think that's it.